There is a lot that we often don't know about our favorite YouTubers, often because of the misconstrued information that has been shared on the internet. So it is easy for us to get things wrong most of the time. BLANCOLIRIO is one such guy, and in this video, we'll share some great information about the YouTube famous aviator BLANCOLIRIO. Number 1. First, his early life. BLANCOLIRIO's love for flying was primarily inspired by his mother, JUANITA Candy Brown. She wrote for the Union column and authored some great nuggets about Nevada country's history and tales of the two cities. On the other hand, his father, Pete, worked as an aerospace engineer, where BLANCOLIRIO developed his passion for flying. His dad worked on an Aerojet on the infamous Space Shuttle project based in Rancho Cordova. Interestingly, BLANCOLIRIO seemed to have inherited both parents' traits. His dad's mechanical mind made him the best aviator and mechanic, and his mother's creativity and storytelling skills were passed down to him, seeing that BLANCOLIRIO is one great storyteller. Number 2. You may also not know this, but BLANCOLIRIO is a fantastic aviator that prides himself in his incredible aviation capabilities. He's flying the firefighter aircraft, is the best pilot, and is well respected by his colleagues. He flies American Airlines 777 and has received several certifications for flying other types of aircraft. Number 3. Impressively, BLANCOLIRIO got his pilot's license by his 16th birthday, right after he graduated high school, which is no mean feat, considering that he could only fly a commercial airline at this tender age. And while the rest of us think of our first cars, BLANCOLIRIO's first ride was an aircraft. After graduating high school, he attended college on the ROTC scholarship. After graduating from college, he was commissioned into the Air Force, where he took his undergraduate pilot training, UPT, at the Williams Air Force Base. After the UPT, Juan became a qualified T-37 instructor pilot based at the Mather Air Force Base. And on his next assignment, he flew the T-141, quickly rising through the ranks to the aircraft commander, who flew all across the world. He is one of the few aviators who flew globally non-stop, thanks to the impressive air fueling technique. After learning to fly airplanes, he went on to work for the U.S. Air Force, where his experience came in handy when he was required to fly jets and pilot the tankers. Number 4. Before securing his first job as an airline pilot, he flew Reno Air National Guard's C-130 aircraft. Number 5. BLANCOLIRIO not only boasts an impressive portfolio from his aviation experience and skill sets, but also has to name one of the more prestigious certifications, the A&P certification. This certification is accreditation for his skills as an excellent airframe and power plant mechanic. What does this mean? Well, BLANCOLIRIO not only flies the biggest airplanes and is good at it, but he can also diagnose and fix the aircraft just as easily. Number 6. He is also a great firefighter and has been involved in several firefighting calls in his neck of the woods. He previously worked for California Fire. This, along with flying planes for the Air Force and working for his current employer, makes him an incredibly talented guy. Number 7. The other thing you may not know about BLANCOLIRIO is that he is one of the aviators that covered the 2017 AUROVILLE Dam spillway failure, a crisis that he's spoken about in the past. Number 8. Thanks to his work in floodplain management, he was recognized by the Floodplain Management Association, where he was a guest speaker in a luncheon in which his work in reducing floods was recognized. Number 9. Also, BLANCOLIRIO is an excellent resource in the aviation industry and often shares insights on different scenarios in the aviation field. Notably, his insights on flight accreditation, specifically in the case of the Virgin Atlantic plane, forced to turn around because the pilot wasn't qualified to fly the plane. Here, BLANCOLIRIO's knowledge helped clear out the air on what the problem was. Specifically, the fact that pilots are often trained to fly just one type of aircraft at a time, and they needed training lasting 4 to 6 weeks in the simulators for the new planes from which they'd have to do simulator checks. They'd only fly the planes after receiving the IOE certification that qualifies them to fly the plane. This is invaluable knowledge that most people know little about, and this pilot is honestly doing the Lord's work by educating the masses. Number 10. Something else that you may not know about Blancolirio is his musical prowess and his talents. He may not be a great singer, but he plays the bass well. Lastly, Blancolirio is undoubtedly one of the nicest YouTubers and humans you will ever interact with.